The next topic I am going to explain about is context-free grammar. So already we discussed this in the types of grammar. In types of grammar, it is type 2 grammar. So it consists of terminals, non-terminals, start symbol and protection. For context-free grammar, when it is a grammar, it contains some set of variables, terminals and the production rule. Already you know the variables that is usually represented with the capital letter or uppercase letter, and terminals it is usually represented with a small letter or lowercase letter. So the terminal is considered as one of the input for the context-free grammar. So this is the general format. Alpha tends to beta. The length of the alpha it should be less than or equal to length of beta. On left side alpha it contains only the single variable, and right side beta it may be the combination of variables and terminals, and epsilon is also possible here. This is one example. Left side there is only one a, and right side only variable, combination of variable and terminal, only terminal, and epsilon is also possible due to this closure. So here for a there are four different productions are there. We can write it in the single grammar itself. So what are all which variable we can consider as the terminal means already we know lowercase letters a b c d up to z. It is considered as the lowercase letter, that is comes under terminals. Other than this lowercase letter, operators also comes under terminals like plus, asterisk, division. So these are all comes under terminals. And special symbols, punctuation, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, comma, these are all comes under terminal symbols. And digits, numbers also considered as the terminal symbols 0 to 9. And boldface strings, so here id it is in bold, if it is in bold, these are all also considered as the terminal symbols. If some strings that is in bold, we can consider that as to terminals here. Next one is variables. What are all the variables means? Uppercase letter, uppercase, capital A, capital B, C up to Z, and lowercase italic names. These are all lowercase, E, X, P, everything is lowercase, but it is in italic. So if it is in italic, then we consider this as a variable here. Normally we are using these statements. In some times we are using expression statement as the variable in some problems. So terminals we discussed, variables. Next one is start symbol. So start symbol is nothing but head of the first production is the start symbol. For example, here for S there are two production and B there is one production. Out of these production, S is the start symbol. This is the head of the first production. So here S is the start symbol. That is the definition. Context-free grammar, it consists of terminals. Non-terminal is nothing but the variables, and production. These are all the productions. These are all the productions, and start symbol. For this production, as is the start symbol. So there is one formal definition of context-free grammar, that is tuple notation, or we can name it as tuple notation. So how we can write the formal definition of context-free grammar means variable. V is nothing but the finite set of variable, and T is nothing but the finite set of terminal symbols. S is the starting symbol, and P is the production rule. Here there is one example. For E there are two different production. This is not the division symbol or production. That is E tends to E plus T is one production, and E tends to T is one more production. That's the reason here we mention it as slash. It is not the terminal symbol here. Similarly for T there are two different production, T asterisk F and F. This is the second production. And for F again there are two different production within parenthesis E and ID. So for this example, what are all the variables? Capital letters are variables here. E, T, F are variables, and lowercase letters as well as operators are considered as terminal here. So plus, asterisk, special symbols, parenthesis, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, ID. Here ID we have to write it in bold. So but I write it as like this. So here ID is also the lowercase letter. That is terminal symbols. And start symbol, out of these three production, head production is E, so E is the start symbol here, and there are 6 different production. We can write it as like this. So these are all the production. For general format, variable combination of variable terminals and with star symbol, and there are some production we can mention everything here in this production. Thank you.